Good day and welcome to Stomp It Basement Reviews. Today we're going to talk about two of the most popular freestyle bindings and this bad boy. I've skied all of them for a long time now and I'll let you know what I think. Let's get started. The first binding is the Jester 16 from Armada. It is a solid binding. It goes from 6 to DIN 16. So it's definitely aimed at the advanced or to really advanced skier. Don't get a binding like this if you're like 60 kilos. You want to be maybe 70, 80 and a really strong skier. It's powerful, so that's the first good thing. The toe piece is virtually indestructible. I think I've never broken one, which is very good. It has a swivelly plate, which is good. Even if you mess up the up and down pressure adjustment, I think it will come out. But always be careful with that and let a professional help you out. The toe height adjustment on this one is one of the best ones on a freestyle binding, or the best ones. It can go really high, so you can fit skinny boots, and really low to fit fatter sole boots. I don't want to get into details too much, but here's a graphic on what fits. So that's the toe. The heel part. The ski stopper works brilliant. It can bend, you can bend it back. It tends to work well and it's pretty simple to replace. And also it folds in the stopper really deep onto the ski, so it's hard to get stuck on it. It's a good one. The heel piece, when you clip in, it makes quite a tactile dung and you're in. You feel safe. It is good. But the bad part about it is that it's shaped like a, it's really unpleasant to crash on. Why did they make it so pointy? I don't know. Because if you crash or land super hard, you're gonna smack your butt on this. Not that good. But overall, this is a binding I've skied on for years. It is really good. Can't complain about it more than it's hard to get into it. Or it takes more pressure. Snow sometimes gets stuck in the front, and this pointy bastard hurts sometimes. So that's a Jester for you. Let's look at the STH16. And here we got this Salomon Atomic Armada. It's kind of confusing. So this binding, the STH16, it was originally made by Salomon, and Salomon, Atomic, and Armada, they're kind of sharing the same binding, but they smack a different logo on. So that's a bit confusing. But to the binding, this is also a great binding, which the one I've skied the most years of my life, from when I was a small child till now. It is perhaps my favorite, but let's break it down first. First, the front here. You see you have this pretty big thing. Sometimes it's been called like a driver of a golf club because it looks kind of weird and cool like that. So this whole piece swivels, so it works a bit different. That is cool. And something that's less good than the market, this plate here is just a slippery plate, and as you wear it down, it's going to get grippier and grippier. And if you have the up and down pressure adjustment wrong, it will be more stuck and you could be less likely to eject perhaps. But the way it's designed, they mean it's perfectly safe like this. No, it is perfectly safe like this. But what is so great about this one, first you get the up and down adjustment here. What's less good on this one compared to the Jester is that you can't fit as many different boots in it. The thickest type of touring boots doesn't fit in this one, and graphic on what fits in it. But what I also really like about it is that it also has a pressure adjustment this way, that these wings can get folded in with an adjustment here on the side. So you feel really snug, and thanks to the shape of it, it's like a mouth like that. So when you kick your boot in, it's so easy to hit it. But if you want to front flip into it, like I tried to do 54 times, landing on this one, smashing it to bits, it never broke, and sometimes I got it in. It's like the easiest binding on the market to get into. It's just like duck buck. And also it takes very little pressure to put down the heel, because it has like a lever system. So you don't need that much pressure to push it down. Ow, that hurt. And you also don't need that much pressure to push on this one to get out again. And also this brake here, it folds it in perfect as well. So you're never getting stuck in these ones basically. So all in all, it's a solid binding. It is my favorite binding I've ever tried for the reasons that the good adjustability here, the extra sideways, and also the tactile feeling. When you click into this one, you feel so secure in it, and also it's rare that snow gets stuck. So that's my 5 cents on these bindings. Let's look at a cool touring binding that I've grown to like a lot over the last 2 years. So let's talk about the shift binding. Also this one comes from Salomon originally, but also it's sold as an Atomic and Armada binding. It's a new category since the last couple of years, and it's really 3 bindings that are similar. This is the only one I've skied, so I can't say so much about the other ones. This one is like 860 grams. The new one from Marker, Duke PT, has higher din, but it's heavier at 1,400 grams, so a tiny bit less than that. And the BAM Pindung, which is also about 1,300 grams, so it's by far the lightest of them, which matters. But what is so good about this binding is the following, in my opinion. It's really easy to get in, duck, and it's safe like a normal ski binding, that it ejects up and down in the back. No, it can only eject upwards, obviously, right and left in the front. So it works well. Next thing that's nice about it is that it's pretty simple. The first time I heard of it, it confused me how it works, but it's simple. I'll show you. You just pull here when you want to go touring mode. Bam! Goes out. You basically just press this thing down, hit it there, pull it up 1, 2 clicks, and here in the back you got to put in ski mode, click it down, and then you're ready to walk. So you got similar to a pin system, like you get this pivot point pretty close to the toe, and then it feels more natural to walk. Compared to what I used to have, I used to have a Salomon Guardian 16, a frame binding. Then you would have the pivot point further forwards, and it would also be kind of heavy. But it's what freestyle free riders who want to tour like myself used to have to deal with in the past. Heavy, clunky, but worked. And it also had a high din, 16 I think, which was brilliant. So that's how this one works. You can also flap up this guy, and then you have some walking aid that you can walk steeper while it feels not so steep. And if you want to go back to skiing again, you just flip it down, change it in reverse. But the most annoying thing, if we're going to talk about the bad thing about this binding, is the ski stopper. It doesn't really fold in to the same extent as the other 2 bindings do. So here, a ski could easily go up and kind of get stuck under it. Or this one can get into the pants. So if it's one thing I'd like them to improve, is to improve the ski stopper functionality, that it folds it in. Oh, that would be good. And when this binding is new, I have experienced, and also when it's not so new, that when I'm walking, that this one just ejects and it comes down again. I just think once it gets more used and less greasy, it's typically taking care of itself, that stops happening. The next bad thing about this binding is that for me, if I'm really shredding, as long as I do it forwards, I can ski as hard as I'd like. It's fine, it's good. But if I want to do like nose sputters or drop 180s, landing in powder, and I have to land really toe heavy, it's like the heel piece 13 isn't quite strong enough to keep my boot in place, and they may eject at times where I don't want them to eject. But for 99% of people, they don't ski hard enough to have this problem really. But for you shredders out there who want to do 180 and 540 drops, yeah, I think you should go for the Marker Duke PT. It's heavy, but got the strength you'll need. So that's a brilliant binding. I hope you enjoyed hearing me rant a little bit about my favorite ski bindings. And it's a sore topic for skiers like myself. People really like the bindings they've got used to and they trust. Because it is really important that you trust your bindings, that they're gonna keep your foot on the ski when you want to. You're gonna eject before your legs or tendons break or snap. So bindings come in different shapes and colors and sizes. it basically doesn't matter so much which one you get. There's one takeaway I want you to have from this video, is that you buy the one that fits your weight and riding ability. If you're not an advanced skier like myself, don't go for any of these 16 bindings I talked about. Go for like the 13 or 14 versions or 12 versions. So it's more exactly what DIN setting you set it up for. But you shouldn't set it up for either. Let a ski technician do it properly for you. So that's it on bindings. If you need some bindings, check out the links in the description, and I wish you a really good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Good day. No, goodbye. Ciao.